Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my croupier, Phil. How are you doing today, Phil?
I'm good. Spinning the wheel, having fun. Here we go.
All around the wheel. Amazing. So if this is your first time on Reality Realness, well then welcome. We are very happy to have you here. But make us even happier by subscribing. Wouldn't that be nice? We're just trying to build a community of people that likes talking about reality TV. So thanks for being here. And subscribe. So we have our friend here, B Bean. Yes, let's do this, Big Bean. Thank you. I'm wondering, B Bean, do you have like all of us on like different devices? Because like I'll still probably, if I was watching it on my computer on YouTube, like on other people's channels, you'd be commenting as well. I'm like, how do you do it all? How do you do it all? Probably like a phone and like a laptop and then an iPad. We also have Sophie here. Oh, thank you.
Very nice. There you
go. A lot today, so maybe it's just like, post sweat glow. Sing it, SB. Oh. Row your boat gently down the stream. Win the veto, earn your safety, then betray your team. Boo, eek.
Wow. Yeah, she's ready to go.
Oh, boy. Hi, Brayden. Thank you for being here. It's magic. Yes, it is magic. I'm like, how are you everywhere? How do you do it? Hi, Sheena. Thanks for being here as well. Just a desktop. It's still impressive. Do you actually have other windows open? Like, it's so impressive. Phil's outfit looks good. Okay, Phil. I think it's his hair.
Simple.
I was commenting on his hair before, and I thought his hair looked quite spiffy. I thought he got a haircut.
Look out. Went the other way.
Sure. So SB wins the head of household on Thursday by 1 second, basically. Derek asked for X if he had gone on the other route instead of trying first off on like the skinny balance beam. If he just had gone on the other balance beam first, he would have beat Sarah Beth. So what do you think about the fact that Sarah Beth is the new head of household?
Okay, I would have preferred Derek X to win. I think Derek X, though, truthfully, at the end of the day, probably would have taken, at the end of the day, Sarah Beth out. And I think Sarah Beth is taking Derek X, probably. I think the goal at the end of this whole week is going to be Derek X is out of here. And whatever.
It is a big whatever. I was liking Sarah Beth before, but then the last couple of weeks I haven't really been enjoying her.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if it's just because she's only cuddling up with Kyland, or if it's the fact that I don't know what it is, but I just haven't been enjoying her. And so I'm just kind of like, she was the least person I wanted to even win head of household. We hear Tiffany say that later, and I didn't want her to win at all.
No. I mean, I'm happy. The cookout's going to be good there, and I'm good with the cookout and everything. It's been years and years we haven't had like a move. I want a good big move. Now, what's going to maybe, if Derek X goes, people are going to be talking about, that split second could have changed everything for him. But I want to move.
There's going to be a lot of
something strict.
There's going to be a lot of things that remorse, I think, if the week ends up going how we're thinking it's going to be going. And that being the fact that Derek X did not play in the roulette game today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he felt safe enough to not go for it. It's like, I would have gone for it 100%.
Yeah, I think you're getting 2 100s. Obviously, you're popular, but some of them are saying, oh, maybe America is telling me I don't need to use it. Maybe he should have been looking at it as, oh, maybe America is telling me I need to use this. Maybe I need to go for it. But
yeah, Brayden, what we're kind of concluding is that we feel as though Derek X is the biggest target. That's kind of who they talked about all this whole episode. So we're assuming that Derek X is going to be the replacement nominee if the veto is used. It seems like this whole week is a backdoor plan. And the fact that he didn't get put up, and he talks about it last episode. He's like, oh, if I don't get put up right away, what does that mean? And Clara's like, it means you're being backdoored. So he wasn't put up right away, and he still decided to bank his money.
Yeah.
Derek X.
I know we're going to talk about it later, but just while it's in my head, Derek F actually impressed me that he didn't play his money. He's that's a bit of a risk. I mean, I know he knows what's going on and everything, but that was a little bit of a risk, in my opinion, of not playing that.
He's in the cookout. The cookout has the numbers.
Yeah, they're going to save him.
They can't. They'll save him pretty much no matter what. Yes, it will suck if 2 cookup members end up being on the block, but chances are he would stay next to anybody anyways.
Okay.
I mean, I totally hear what you're saying.
Just because it was such a random thing, it could have been 2 cookout members if it went a certain way. But.
True. I just wanted to know what would happen if nobody could afford to play. Then it just.
I guess it would have went on till next week. We could have had two competitions going on.
I don't think that they would have done it. They probably just would have canceled it. No?
Well, I don't know, because they mentioned the other one had been canceled, so they're like, so you guys can't play that one now. So it was like the possibility was that it might be there.
But it was you. That's why it was
you.
So. Yeah. I don't know. I'm wondering what they would have done if nobody had any money to play. Their stupid twist. The twist was dumb. If all of them suck. If it was just normal, we would have gotten some good gameplay these last 2 weeks. But now everybody's just trying to avoid having their game ruined by the twist. And so it's just a different thing. It's so annoying. Yeah. So mad. Yeah. Oh, did I say this already? But I'll say it again. Hi, Joseph. Thanks for being here. Joseph doesn't like Sarah Beth as HOH because she does Kylan's dirty work. I mean, she put up the exact same nominees that Kylan started with. So that, to me, doesn't look like she's playing her own game. I would wonder, they didn't show it here, but on the feed, her letter was her girlfriend, Shelly. And her girlfriend was kind of like, I'm so jealous of all the people that get to be next to you and cuddle with you. You would think that would be Sarah Beth be like, oh, she's noticing that I'm too flirty with Kylan. Yes. Maybe I won't do Kylan's dirty work and allow him to hug and cuddle me all the time. But no. And apparently also the girlfriend took away her rider. So they can't talk about her on the feeds anymore. And so now they have to cut the feeds if she's never mentioned. So I don't know if she's
That's never a good sign.
Yeah, but it's ugh. No bueno. So BB wants to know, Phil, is this the famous roulette wheel behind you?
Well, it's not the one from tonight for sure. Unfortunately, they don't put those pictures up right away. So, but yes, no.
Jonathan, your SB stat drafting is yes, Jonathan. Is that your last person? I don't remember what. No, you have one person left.
No,
correct?
no. I'm X. X is who's now on the block. Who knows? But that's all I have. That's all my people are gone.
I need to pull this up. You only have X left? Sorry, that's very funny.
My money is on X. X is going to win Big Brother.
I mean, he has a good chance. Oh, I don't have this one on here. Never mind. I have I don't have the draft.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think, has 3 people left. I think almost everybody else has 3, and I lost 3.
I think JoJo has everybody still.
Oh,
JoJo has Tiffany, Haza, Derek F, and Derek X. He may be losing Derek X this week, so he'll finally lose a player.
Right.
I have Kylan, Alyssa, and Claire. And Jonathan, who do you have left? Well, obviously Sarah Beth.
Yeah.
Brittany's gone.
Who else is left?
Does he only have
not Derek F, right? Derek F was JoJo, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Who do you have? Who did you have?
I just lost Brittany. I had oh my gosh, Brent. I didn't pick Brent. That was like the last of. And I had Whitney, who had a good, strong showing in episode 1 and then went downhill pretty fast.
Oh,
and Brittany, I only picked because she lives near me. Oh, what a mistake.
Definitely a mistake. Okay, so Jonathan still has Hannah and Sarah Beth left. His other 2 members are Christian and Frenchie that are gone. Yeah, you have everything right on your number 1 pick. So that was Xavier. But Brittany, Claire, Whitney, and Brent are all gone. So yeah, everything's riding on Xavier. And I think Xavier could very well be the person that goes out at 6.
Well, I did say, though, also when we had our first episode, I said I do think that a female is going to win this season. So even though they're not in my draft, if X goes, I'm all in. Females win it.
Jonathan says, but mistakes will be made this week. Huh. Wait, do you think a female is going to win this season? So am I going to win?
I don't know about, right now, no. I think X is going to win. I'm putting that positive energy out there.
He could, but he has to get past 6. Like the people that are super strong. So I think Kyland, Xavier, and and Tiffany are in the worst position to be going at 6. So we'll see how that shakes out that week. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't understand. They're not showing it on the episodes, but why Tiffany is trying to get Claire out and like trying to get Derek X out. Like you want those 2 people to be there at 8 and 7 because they're going to not be targeting you and they'll get out somebody that will help you get to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm still confused by you're pretty close to the cookout. Like you have 4 people that are not in the cookout. Like, wouldn't you want to keep as many of those people for the longest?
They want the 6. They want the 6 to be the final 6. And at the end of the day, 5 of them aren't going to win. So, like, somebody's got at least one of them should be making a move right now.
Well, it's not even necessarily making a move. I just don't know why they're getting rid of their allies that won't be taking them out if they get power at 8 and 7. If they want to get the cookout to the 6, fine. But like, why would you rather have Alyssa and Sarah Beth at the 8 and 7, who would definitely go after you before they go after Xavier and Kyland? So, anyways, I'm just
but they don't have that option, right? No, that option's not there right now. Sarah Beth is HOH. Alyssa, it can't be put up because she won the thing. So neither of them can be picked.
What has been like happening behind the scenes? So like Hannah has been like pushing for Derek to be the target. I'm like, Hannah, why are you pushing for your closest ally to be the target? And like we haven't seen this yet, but like Tiffany is like wanting Claire to be going out next. And so like what's happening? They're not coming for you. I don't know why you're targeting people that are not coming for you.
And they might feel the most burned by those people, and they are going to be jury members. So that could be dangerous.
He says though that this season exactly mirrors steamroll seasons of the past.
Yeah, I agree.
It does, but at least it's not obvious. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not an obvious alliance, so at least it's hidden. So there's a little bit more work being done. It's a little bit more interesting.
I do genuinely think that the people in the cookout like the other people in the house and like the relationships they've met with them. There have been past seasons where they have this alliance and they're quite like nasty to the people on the outside of the alliance and they don't work with them at all. And I mean, they just, it's like us versus them. And unfortunately, a lot of the times, like, I mean, season 21 was just awful, right? Like for that, like that came across as just awful. So
yeah, I don't feel like it's like the bullying style steamroll that.
Yeah, it's not bullying.
But, and I do feel like it's a little bit more interesting just because they haven't decided to be self-interested yet. But that will be a little bit interesting when they all have to turn on each other. Even though I heard through the grapevine that there's going to be a triple eviction or something from like 7 to 6 to 5 or something like that. So like where the most interesting gameplay is going to be, it's going to be just wiped away with a triple eviction.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do it. Well, so next week, they wouldn't be able to do it next week with the it's going to be the week after, or that night of that eviction, right? Then they'll go, oh, it's triple eviction night or double eviction, whatever. Yeah,
double's fine. Triple is just really annoying. I don't think it's worth the pay of admission or whatever that phrase is. It's like it's not that exciting to me. I like the double because I do like seeing it like this quick competition. So I like that.
Yeah.
I don't like wait, how does it? I don't even know how triple evictions worked last season.
Yeah, because it was different than the Canadian one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was something
I can't remember
like
how
it was 3 people were up, or I don't remember, or was it just 2 in a row? Like they did 3, like 3 sets in a row.
A double, and then I don't remember. BB,
was it like a 2-hour episode?
I don't remember. Joseph, how did they do the triple eviction last season? Please help us out.
Yeah.
So Sophie wants to know what they're going to do with the BB Bucks when someone gets evicted. It seems like nothing because Brittany had BB Bucks and they didn't say anything about it. Kylan came across like a coward due to having $200. Are you talking about for Xavier? For Derek X?
Oh, but is this during when Derek X was asking Kylan in the bedroom? He's like, "Should I play?"
It's like, "Oh yeah, don't play. You don't want to go against the head of household's wishes." Like,
right?
Like, don't give him.
Don't say that. We're like down to how many? Like now you're at the jury phase. Don't worry about what the HOH wants. They won't have power at a certain point.
It's like, who cares? Like, I really wouldn't care. I would have played that. I would be like, fuck you, man. I'm going to win this. Okay, if you close your eyes, the season matches past season. I don't really see that though, because when they had these big steamrolls, I didn't like the groups that were running things. I was on the side of I am on the side of the people on the outside here as well, but I do like the cookout for the most part, at least a good. I like everybody in the cookout enough. Derek F, I'm not the biggest fan of, but everybody else, like, I like more than I like the people in like Grateful. I didn't like anybody in there, or in Paul's Alliance. I didn't like anybody in there, and I didn't like Level 6. So at least I like the people, and I wouldn't mind most of them winning from the cookout. So that's where I would say that it was a little bit different. If you're talking about the fact that a group of people having control and are making the decisions, sure, that's very similar. But how I feel about the people is different than I've felt about the steamrolls in the past.
Yeah.
Right now, Claire is getting evicted unless Derek X gets backdoored. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
I can't stand Daybed. People are so funny. As you'll find it on Wednesday. Don't wait to find a spoiler. Right. I'm not a friend. I'm not a fan at all.
Let's hope we find out on Wednesday.
Hi, what are we talking about so far? We talked about so far that we don't really care for Sarah Beth that much. I thought it was hilarious, though. I don't know what had happened, probably just around here. When Ozza was complaining to Derek F, and she's called her, was it Sarah Beast?
Sarah Beast, yes.
I thought it was funny.
But I did say at that point also, I was like, because Ozza was somewhat crying, and at the beginning of it, I couldn't tell she was joking, and I was like, they're not even in danger. Stop crying. Like that bedroom, everybody keeps crying in that bedroom. But then it was a joke, and I was like, oh, she's not really being serious. I was just like hit a nerve with me. I was like, stop crying in that bedroom.
She was crying though remember when Brittany's picture turned to black and white, and like she wanted to go to the end with Brittany and Final 2, and it's just kind of like I'm happy that Brittany's gone because I don't want to hear her like defending Brittany anymore. I want her to like have her own game, like make some moves, want to do something. Like, I'm just not impressed with Ozza. I really wanted to like her a lot, but her game is like the complete opposite to a game that I would be playing. And I wouldn't be working with her either. I don't know how Tiffany's able to do it. Both Derek F and her are just so impossible to work with. And yeah, I would be very, very frustrated. So what did you think about the kiss at the end of last episode? And then they retook the kiss.
They liked showing that kiss. I thought we would get more reaction from Derek F. He just doesn't seem to care all that much about it. It was like, oh, it was nice.
Yes, he did. He cared a lot.
Oh, did he? Did you? Oh, is he talking a lot about it? Or
I don't know about the feeds, but I'm saying like he went to the diary room and he's like, I got that kiss from Kyle.
Yes. Oh, he did.
But then I was reminded that Sarah Beth is head of household. And so that took away from his happiness of his little smoochy. And did you see Hannah? She's like, ah! Like, it was so cute. Very cute. So Natalie said, I think that Xavier is going to win the next head of household. And I think he's going to become a comp beast down the road. Interesting. I can definitely see him winning. I don't know what competitions Tiffany's going to be good at, but I would like her to win something. Please.
I want him to start winning when there's 7. When there's like 7 people left in the house. Because I think I want him to win when we're getting close to that cookout fallout. Yeah. What's gonna happen. And I want him to have power because like he'll be a target.
Oh yeah. He'd be out first in my eyes. So we see Sarah Beth and Kylan celebrating in the storage room, and Kylan subtly suggests, like, oh, I think it should be like a Claire and Derek X. I'm just like, you're not even that subtle, but just Sarah Beth just heating it up, just like whatever Kylan says, heat that up. I'm like, oh, it's not actually good for your game, Sarah Beth. I know she doesn't know about the cookout specifically, but it's not great for her game because Derek X wasn't coming for her right now. He would have probably gone for a bigger target. So it's a little bit silly of her to do that. But
like she hasn't at all said like, well, who do I myself want to go after? I mean, a couple weeks ago, she was talking about how she wanted to go after Hannah. I mean, she's known that Tiffany has said her name. I believe she got that off the feeds. Like she knows that. And neither of those names came up at all. No, she did say Claire and Tiffany at the very beginning, I think she said, but then that quickly changed.
Well, they didn't show this, but there was supposed to be a jackpot revival. And so like they're all like talking again about jackpot and like, oh my God, like so excited, like let's like stick together, all these girls. And so that was what happened immediately. And then she didn't even put then she put up
then she talked to Kyle.
Exactly. When she was trying to get like that's better for her game for the most part. It's like trying to fix that because then Tiffany might not want to go for you when she gets some power, but nope, she didn't do that. So Ava and Tiffany were having this little conversation that you're like, well, are they being serious? No, I don't know. That wasn't it. It was with Derek F. But you know, they wished anybody but Sarah Beth won that power, and me too. I really just wanted anybody else but Sarah Beth. Yeah. I could have dealt with anybody except for Kylan, which she couldn't play, thank goodness. But I would have liked to see anybody's HOH other than hers, especially now she's the first woman that's won head of household this season. Womp, womp, womp. And Azza is wishing that Kylan had thrown her that HOH last week so they could have gotten her out and things would have been different. So what do you think about this whole, like, he should have thrown that to me argument?
Yeah, he's still in the doghouse, I think, with a couple people probably. That's going to come up again, the fact that he didn't work well as a team player for the cookout at that challenge. Ooh.
Bean, I think you're a prophet here. No spoilers, but Derek X gone via the wrath of Sarah Beth. LOL. Yep, that's what I think is going to happen. Alyssa was heartbroken when Xavier was the replacement nominee. Yes, we're going to get to that shortly. The high roller twist is so stupid. I feel like this twist was created to fill time. Well, it was definitely not for entertainment because
no. You know what? Like they've tried year after year to do something on the Sunday night, and it hasn't worked. Go back to the food competition or the have-not competition. and just do that. Like, let us have fun with that. Who's going to be have not? Make the have not something really bad. Let's do it. Like this stupid advantage thing, the who's ready for a takeover, and all of those stuff that were happening on the Sundays. Get rid of them. They're not working. They never go the way that the people who come up with them think they're going to go, because the alliance will always outsmart that challenge.
Absolutely. This twist has made them get rid of their highest voted people. So Brittany, she was getting all the votes and she got the $100. She's done. Derek X, they're trying to save him. They're trying to give him some help, give him money, and most likely he's going to be done. So this isn't working.
Eating yucky milkshakes and dressing up as cows, squeezing milk into a grate for have-not competitions. I'm fine with that. Sunday night, make that nomination night. Just keep it that way.
Right? It's just, I mean, I never disliked the food competition. I thought what it was good about it made them work together. It made them become like friends and do something silly together where they're not competing for something super like power in the game. Like it was just like silly stuff. Like even in the very beginning where they had to compete and get cereal or meats or milk, and then that's what they would get. I like that. Or even in the UK, they do competitions for a food budget. So they have a certain amount of money that they're able to buy food with. I think that is a task that brings everybody together. And I think that would actually help with the connections that people are making, so that it will be a little bit more challenging for people to stab them in the back. And so when people stab them in the back, it'll hurt a little bit more because they're like friends. So I'm with you. Bring back the food comp.
Find other ways to deal with the backdoor problem. Like that. I mean, that's what I feel like this was all done for, was, well, we got to give people chances in case they get backdoored. Find something else. It's not working. But these challenges on Sunday nights aren't working.
Someone was saying on like a recap that I was watching, and that they should do it like Canada does it and not have the head of household compete anymore for veto. What do you think about that as an option?
Hey, that's a great way. Yeah, actually, that's good, because it makes the HOH make the move right off the beginning of what they want to do for the week. So like, unless they can cut a deal with somebody and they somehow know that they're going to win the veto. But no, I like that. It makes the HOH make their decision right away.
Exactly. Put up who you want out. And then you can almost guarantee that the veto will be used, like most likely, because you have like the two nominees. Like it just higher odds that it's going to be used.
Yeah.
Or used in a way that's going to save a nominee, not be a backdoor secret plan. You know. Where are we? Where are we here?
I don't know.
It's 2 weeks before the finals. Wait, sorry. Where are we? What are we saying?
That's probably the double or triple eviction, maybe.
September 16th is supposed to be a 2-hour for that reason.
Triple. So it will be the triple. Yeah.
Oh my God, a triple right before it's 2 weeks before the end of the game. That's so brutal. It's so brutal. Okay, yeah, the rumor is a super triple going from 7 to final 4. That's disgusting. That is like the most important time in the game. Also, alumni like Derek think this season sucked due to the cookout. Also, Evil Dick claims that ratings suck. If ratings suck, why is BB number 1 in the 1849 demographic? I feel like the alum are jealous. Well, I think the alum are just pissed because they wouldn't have been able to win their season if there was an entity like the cookout on it.
Yeah. And to be honest, I actually like Evil Dick in some ways, but I think he's been saying that every season has sucked since he's been on it. I'm not quite remembering one where she was like, "This was a great season." Yes. Is Claire a disappointment so far? Yes. All these people on these podcasts and in the world, they love her because she's part of that world. Claire has done nothing in this game.
She's more active on the feeds. I'll have to give you that. She does strategize a lot
on the feeds.
Pardon?
but she's not going anywhere. Her game is she doesn't know what's going on, and she should be attuned to this. She's somebody who's smart. Like she comes across as very smart, and I don't feel like she's got a good handle of the house.
Well, this is the issue. Is like, look at, like, I do think that Clara is a disappointment for the fact that she's not piecing it together. She has all the information. She's doing all the strategizing, and I think because she's in an alliance with Tiffany, she doesn't suspect that Tiffany would be lying to her this entire time. And so her relationship with Tiffany, I think, is what is clouding her judgment of being able to see everything very clearly. But we saw in this particular episode that her and Derek X have sussed out the cookout.
Yeah.
What if they were working together? Let's go down that trajectory. What if? What if?
Yeah.
Because like when I play these games, I look at every single possibility. So if that's something that popped in my mind, I would start strategizing around not being taken out by that group of people. Even if it's not a thing, I would be having some sort of contingency plan as to, like, okay, well, this person wins. If that's true, then they would be putting me up with probably this person. Okay, well, then I don't want that to happen. So let's make sure that this happens to, like, counter it. Like, I would do my best to try to counter every possible attack from every single person. So it's just so frustrating that she's a super fan, that she's just so lazy. I think her and Derek X are lazy in this game. They don't fight hard enough to, like, get off the block or make a deal or just, like, work harder, Claire, and you would probably do a lot better.
Come on, Claire. You were the alternate. We had faith in you. No. I just want somebody to make a move that's going to make the show a little bit more interesting. Like, I'm very excited to see the cookout go to the 6, but I want them to have a challenge.
Yeah.
That will be, like, rewarding. Have a challenge and then show them really overcome it, like, and do it. They haven't really, It's crazy. I don't know. I'm not impressed with her.
She is, I have to say, that she does strategize more on the feet, so they don't really show Claire's game on the episode. So I will give that part as well. Oh, you just disappeared. I'm like, is that mine? Is it you? It's you. It's you this time. Yes.
Oh.
I like the steamroll. Only 40% of the cookout has been head of household. That's true too. With those other steamrolls, like that big group alliance were always in power. They just traded off power. And in this case, people have not, like, this cookout hasn't always been in power. And so they are working for it. It's not coming as easy. Yes, they have the numbers. Yes, they've been working together this whole time. And yes, they don't have to worry because they just have faith that we made this pact and nobody's going to go against it. So there's a lot of safety in the moves that you're making, in the way that you're talking to people, in how you're strategizing. If you know for sure that you are going to be safe if you're sitting beside a non-cookout member, you can play so loose. You know, you're not worried about anything. So they do
they have nothing to worry about right now. Nobody's challenging them.
They have it so easy. Joseph, though,
but based on smart, like, they've been smart. They have been very smart in this. Like, they do deserve credit. They've been very smart.
If they can get to the 6, like, they definitely deserve credit. But I would like to give more credit to the person that sets himself up for the win. Like, if it's like a Derek F and Ozza final 2, because for default everybody else started attacking each other, I'll be pissed at those other 4 people who are playing more of an active game this whole time. So that's what I'm saying. They better take out those 2 first, because I don't want them to win by default. Okay, so Joseph, go back to this comment though. Are you watching his podcast with Cody Calafiore? I couldn't watch the beginning of it because it was just, like, sensationalizing, like, how amazing a duo they were. They're both winners, and, like, I was just, like, rolling my eyes, so I couldn't watch it. And I don't particularly like Derek Levasseur. He thinks he's so good at the game, and I think that he just had a really easy run. Like, he didn't have anybody going up against him. So I found it boring. He's an Aquarius, so I'm going to give him the fact that, like, he probably was pretty strategic. So I'll give him that bit. But I didn't think that he was that great of a player when I watched him play. So did you watch?
That season, there were parts about that season I really liked. I felt that season was more based on characters. Like they got people that were for the cameras there were some interesting people on that season that I liked, but I didn't think that they picked the best cast for gameplay.
No,
and I think Derek was pretty. He didn't really have too many people that were contenders to take him out. So
it's so funny though that like Derek and Evil Dick are like so upset about these seasons. I don't remember them like speaking this hard about Grateful and about like they all said, "Oh, Paul deserved to win. Look at how he was able to like completely manipulate all these people and like have them like it." So the Cookout is actually being kinder to each other. They're not as nasty to the other people in the house, and they're worse of an alliance. So I'm just like I find it very interesting that they're not valuing this big group steamroll when they didn't have a lot of words that I remember anyways about other ones that are kind of nasty steamrolls.
Yeah.
7-4, that's so brutal. Totally agree that there has been no bullying. That is different. Oh, I won't do it, Big Brother. Like, can they just listen to like a few people's podcasts just so they can hear how bad it is to do the triple eviction at that time? Do it in the beginning when there's a gazillion people in the house, like not at the end where people have really worked very hard to get there, just to have like an unlucky like head of household, like whoop, all done. Game's over. Can't do anything.
3 hours next time.
Oh, I just don't like it. Those fast decisions. They don't have a chance to fight for themselves. They don't have
take out half the house.
Yes, kidding though. Yeah, a double is better. I like a double eviction better because, like, you know, that someone gets evicted and then there's a quick like week that plays out and someone's evicted. But the triple nominate 3, 2 go home, like or whatever it is. I don't enjoy that.
Yeah,
personally. 2 weeks before finals. Yep. Why are they stopping doing double evictions instead of doing and instead of doing a triple eviction? They think it's more exciting. Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. I think Canada started doing it and then they were getting like, oh, you should try this. And then they were like, well, we want to do it our way. And so they didn't understand how the Canadian one was done. So they were like, let's just add another hour and do the same thing over again.
So Cameron says, "As BB fans like Big D, I don't particularly. Do you like Big D?"
I don't like Big D for the fact that like his game, from what I have seen as a viewer, as opposed, I'm not really on the feeds, but as a viewer, is he's on the couch. That's basically what I see. Like he's been more on it the last couple of weeks, but that's because he's been on the block. But what I just see is him on the couch. I don't really like the way that he talks about Tiffany. And I didn't really understand his relationship with Frenchie at the beginning. That was confusing to me. I don't know. I didn't get that. Right. So so I'm like, okay. So, but America likes him because I mean, 2 weeks in a row he got the 100.
I don't know. I guess like maybe they like the fact that he was calling Tiffany a B. Like, I don't know. I don't understand that. We were first thinking that maybe it was because people were mistaking the F for the X, but 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I don't know.
So speaking of F, so he obviously doesn't want to be a pawn again. Like he's so annoyed with that. Like if he's going to go up as a pawn, he's telling this to Kylan. He's hoping that his relationship with Kylan will stop him from being a pawn. And then he wants to go and talk to Tiffany. So what did you think about his conversation with Tiffany where he's like, we're cut from the same cloth, like why, like, so when they started this conversation, they're in the washroom and Alyssa comes in and she wants to get ready for bed. So they leave and they go to the storage room and Tiffany sits down on like a beanbag or something like that in the storage room. So what do you think about this conversation and how both of them handled it?
I thought that you got the vibe that Tiffany had been stewing a little bit on this. I think that they didn't talk right away about this. This was quite a bit after. I think I'm actually proud of Tiffany for speaking her mind. She didn't necessarily think gameplay of, well, like this might screw me at the final 6. but she stood up for herself, and I think that was something that she should do. Like, I think that goes well on the camera. I think people are going to get behind her. She looked a lot better than he did in that situation, I felt. I mean, America, maybe I don't understand their voting anyways when they vote for things. I never want America voting because they never do it right. But yeah, I was like, I thought she came across good. I was worried about her. She was pissed, like she was pissed off with him, like, and she was very angry after hearing it. And I think what I liked was she brought it back to the time when she tried to talk to Brittany in the room. It wasn't just about, I hear you're calling me names and that. It's about, like, I wanted to talk to you about this, but you guys didn't trust me enough for that. And he tried to, like, go around that like it was something else. And she was like, no, that's not true. Like, that's not what happened there. That's your story. You're going to stick to that story? Like, I was proud of her for being like, nope, that's not a true story. You're lying to me. So.
And then I like the fact that also that he's like, well, like, I'll apologize to you. She's like, no, I'm not going to accept your apology if you don't think what you did was wrong. And I like that she said that, because, like, in the confessional, he's like, I did nothing wrong. And it's like, well, fine, you didn't do anything wrong for your own particular game, that you and Ozza went up there because you didn't want whatever Tiffany had to say to Tiffany to be said without you two being present. Fine, for your own game, that's good. But also know then, for your relationship with Tiffany, that's not good. Like, you made a very specific choice that you were willing to make that like to go against Tiffany just wanting to speak to Brittany. And like, I might add that if that had gone the way, because she was trying to flip that vote and have Christian stay, right? Sarah Beth would have been gone. And I don't know if Brittany would have been gone last week if she had allowed things to go a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like, if they had let Christian stay, maybe he would have won the next head of household. It wouldn't have been Kyla in the second. Like, all these things.
No, it would have been Derek X. He probably would have tried to get back at Derek X for putting him up. So if they were so, like, they needed to have Christian gone. Christian needed to be gone. And you know what? Christian gone, I think, was one of the reasons why Brittany ended up being the one that went instead. So the next week. So the only bad thing I would say about that whole thing is Tiffany has now put herself in when we get to that point, if Derek F walks away winning that head of household, there's a chance that she could be put into a target by him. Probably was anyways. But, she's made it more so, right? Like in some way. I think she did great, but in the game of Big Brother, you never want to necessarily put all the heat, be like, I'm against you. Like,
but you also do need to have a target. So whether or not, like, Tiffany is going to put up Derek F or not, she can always say, like, I don't get along with Derek F, so people can assume that that's who she's going to take out, and it could allow her to have a misdirect and take somebody else out, because you always need to have a name on your tongue. She's always like, Sarah Beth. So she always has that name that she could say that people can expect. Like, if Tiffany has head of household, she's going to put Derek or SB on the block. And so now it's kind of like SB and Derek would be her targets, but maybe she'd actually put up Kylan and Xavier, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I do agree with you, though. Like, I do think that she should have been really considerate of, like, their game relationship. But I think that he's so pissy about her.
He is.
I don't think it was going to work.
Yeah. I think the other 4 members of the cookout have to be aware of the relationship Ozza and Derek F have. They probably are. But I do feel like, because they're always in that bedroom, like, every time you see them. And it's like, I think that those two will stick together. You got to get rid of them. Get rid of one at least.
Yep. Please. BB says, Chantele, we know exactly why the 11th is kicked out. Why, BB? Tell me why. BB, tell me why. Sophie said, didn't Derek and Evil Dick say last season was awesome, even though it wasn't? Last season was terrible.
I know Evil Dick at the beginning was liking it, and then, like, his he was really going on a rant about Danielle and her game moves, and he wasn't liking her game moves. So I don't know. I find that I really don't believe that Evil Dick has liked the season since his season. I think he's always been against whoever does well.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
their podcast. I don't remember, what is it? The winners chat. Like, I don't know, winners podcast, whatever. I roll. Ooh, do you think that they're jealous of the cookout? Ooh, where did this go? We are rooting for you, said his tired
Claire.
Oh, Claire. Okay, Justin says, hell no, I haven't watched that podcast. I caught 5 minutes and I couldn't finish it for the same reason. He has such an easy run. I heard if Cody took Victoria, he would have won. Of course he would have won against Victoria. Yeah. Of course. That's the biggest move that Derek made, was the fact that he convinced Cody to take him to the end and let him win. But he shouldn't have done that.
You know, it's so interesting, some of these old seasons of Big Brother, if you watch them now, I don't know, the climate that we're in now, like Victoria, like, didn't play the game that way, but in some ways, the ways people were talking about Victoria might have rubbed people the wrong way. Like, I mean, people were saying nasty things about Victoria on the feeds. Like, I remember that quite a bit. So.
Okay, the only alumni podcast I have watched is Girl Let's Agree to Disagree with Jessica Milagros and Hannah Claire. They're so good. Plus, Jess is doing exit interviews this season. I was watching them last season a little bit. Some of it I agreed with and some of it I didn't agree with, but I do watch it a little bit. Yeah. I watch them sometimes.
I've seen some of Jessica's things. I think she does an okay job with the interviews. I think that they're good. She's probably... Yeah, I mean, I don't remember her as a great BB game player, but I think when it comes to talking and knowing what the game's all about, because I think she was a fan, I think she gets props for that.
You think so, Sophie? Derek? Which Derek? There's too many Dereks. Derek X or Derek Levasseur? I'll take Derek X. He'd be good on the challenge. They don't have much Asian representation on that show, so that would be cool. I'd love for him to get an invite, actually, but I don't want him to work with the BB Alliance on there. They're the worst. It's like Josh and Casey and Fessy. It's very bad.
Season 19.
So I wrote at this point, I can't stand Derek F. So I'm just like, Urgh. And I loved his. He's like, we're not cut from the same cloth. I was like, nope, not at all. So Kylan and Sarah Beth have a conversation. She doesn't really feel great about Alyssa, but she wants the power to be used because she doesn't want that a lot of people, like, to have two powers that are going to be potentially in the mix next week when she doesn't have any HOH power. So she does want people that will use that power. So when she's having these one-on-ones, she's listening to people that are saying that they're going to play, they're going to use the power, they're going to play. Yeah. And that's exactly what Alyssa did. She's like, oh yeah, like I'll play. I'll play the roulette. And so she does decide to play the roulette. Then we hear Derek X and Claire talking about the cookout, but not making any good, like, decisions about it. I'm like, okay, you sussed out some people that, what if they're working together? Wow. And then what? And if they were?
It was like, what did they say if they were? I missed that part. I forget.
That's it. I'm waiting.
Nothing, right? Like, they didn't say anything. Yeah, okay. I'm like, wait, what? Nothing. They didn't say anything.
I was like,
they said crickets. Nothing. But now I did hear that on the feeds it actually was even more. It was, what if, like, there's the group of all the people of color are in the house are working together. Was that what they were talking about? And Derek said, what about if all the people of color besides me are actually working together? Did he actually, like, say it? Like, yeah, he did that. Yeah. So
I don't know. I should have not to think, though. I don't know if I'm speculating it or if it actually happened. You know what I mean?
I thought I heard that on the feeds that they actually had said that line, and I was like, wow. Well, why couldn't that be a possibility? Like, that could be a possibility. Come on, you got to think of everything. So.
It's just it's shocking. 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 So what did I write here? Baby D, Alyssa, Xavier is who Sarah Beth think is the scariest. Okay, so she's scared of Baby D, fine. She's scared of Alyssa and Xavier because they were wanting Christian to stay there over her. So that means to her that they're not willing to work with her. I would have like fixed that relationship like ASAP. You know what I mean? Like, I know that, you wanted Christian to stay, and I know that didn't mean that you wanted me to leave, but you guys had a closer relationship with him. I get that. Now that he's gone, we need to be stronger than ever. Like, let's still work together. I understand why you were doing what you're doing. I understand. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't she mend those fences with her team, former team?
Mend that fence. I mean, Alyssa went to bat for you when you were trying to get rid of Hannah. She was the other person that was like, yeah, I agree. Like, we got to listen. Like, we should be going after Hannah. Like, so you had that person. Why? And she still thinks you're together. Work with her. But all her eggs, I believe, are in Kylan's basket right now.
Yep.
Like, she is
Kylan.
like, I'm going with Kylan to the end because everyone else is against us.
So brutal.
No, okay. Good gameplay.
We have the nomination ceremony, and it's going to be Big D and Claire are on the block. Surprise, surprise. Groundhog Day. This just happened last week. And look at that. Kylan's number one ally did the exact same nominations he did. Eye roll. So
I loved your eye rolls there. That was great. You actually did eye roll head circle. You're like,
I don't know if I can do the second part.
It's great.
So Hannah and Derek X have a conversation about like whether or not they're going to play or not play the roulette thing, and they didn't really show it, but on the feed she convinced him to not play. It was Hannah that basically was like, no, for next week, don't play. And I'm like, Hannah, let him play. Like, you already have this game on lock. Like, just let the guy play instead of like taking him out like this. You're not going to get any credit for him going out. Like, so it's not a big move on your resume. So like, let the kid play and try to save himself instead of like you being like making him feel that he's safe. I was annoyed.
Well, it wasn't the smartest thing, I think, for her. Like, I know that they want him out because as a collective they want him out, but they're together all the time. If he beat Alyssa in that, Alyssa would have been a possibility to go up. Like, I mean, so, I do think Derek X probably would have taken Claire off the block over Derek F. And so who knows who would have come up.
But Tiffany also put in some work for him to, if he was going to play, like be worried that she might be put up as a replacement. So that fear would have come into play as well. So they get to use it on Claire or use it at all or use a veto on somebody. She's like, well, if you use it, like I probably will go up as a replacement. And so she kind of put that fear in him as well. So
wow.
Brutal. Joseph says,
she's good.
What for you? Claire and Daybed are on the bed. That should tell you that Kylan thinks he is a mastermind. Gag?
Gag. Yep.
Gag. Sarah Beth has no spine. She thinks she does, though. Yeah. Oh, okay. Meant nomination block. Daybed, nomination block. I get it. I find it so funny that he's always complaining about being on the block and he's in the nomination chairs all the time. Like, I would not, superstition-wise, not be sitting in those chairs ever. I would not. I want to get too comfy over there. So Derek X knows that there's a risk to play. So I just didn't understand why he played. Take the sure thing. You don't know who's going to have power next week. Great. It could also be an ally. It could also be you. This week, you had an inkling that you're going to be backdoored.
Yeah.
So let's just take these odds away from people. Like,
yeah, if you feel like you're in danger, you should use everything you can, and you've got that chance to use something, you should go for it. Like, I mean, in other seasons, it might look bad, like you do it because they'll be like, oh, you're actually thinking you're in danger, maybe you're putting a target on you, but he does have a giant.
Nobody would know unless he won.
That's true too. So yeah, he should have played.
You should have played. It's kind of like I don't know if I would be able to sit on a hidden immunity idol for like if in testy times. Like if I'm in the major alliance, maybe I'd be able to hold on to a hidden immunity idol. But like I'd be so nervous that like I would just play it badly because like I would not want to go home with an idol in my pocket. And Derek is basically going home with an idol in his pocket with having $200, basically.
Yeah.
So
well, maybe him and Brittany can go spend their BB bucks somewhere.
Yeah, in the jury house. Ooh. Ouch! Actually, both of them have all that money. They should say, "Thank you, America. You got me evicted." No, but it allows
they're gonna have more money than some of the people that will be in the house longer will have ever had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some will only have 150 max, or like 100 because they probably played the first game. So Claire has $100 from America in the high rollers room. Doesn't she get a clue that America's saying like, "You in danger, girl"? Like everybody's been saying that. "You're in danger, girl." It just reminds me of Ghost, obviously, Whoopi Goldberg. Azza only gets another $50, so she only has $100 in total. Hannah gets $75 for a second time. She's not playing. Xavier gets another $75. He's $150. He's not going to play. Sarah Beth gets $50, and she had 50 last week, and she played last week, I believe. So she only has $50. Tiffany should have taken note that she went down to $50. So somebody that was at $100 is out of the game. Somebody moved up to $100. That wasn't you, and you went down and swapped spots with Alyssa.
2 levels. You went down. Like, that's.
Like the Tiffany
I made a mistake somewhere.
Week. But like you'd want to go up, you'd think, if America was liking you. So she went down. I would have thought that like, ooh, like maybe they're not liking what I'm doing here. Like, let me just reconsider some things, you know? So
but, we also have to remember that it's a voting thing and that never seems to go right. So I think people get confused. They just call up and dial the numbers or text in the wrong number, and it's all messed up.
I don't know why they can't do a website and just make us click a button, because that is I could set that up for them. Like the fact that people in Canada can't vote is kind of annoying. Like we could figure out how to vote. I could figure out how to vote from my computer, like on the website. Like I can't figure out how to vote. I've tried a few different texting devices, but it doesn't allow me to text like this type of thing. It's saying like, no, it's not, doesn't work. So I wish they just did it by that, because I think it would be a more accurate number, because a lot of the fans aren't necessarily the casual fans that are like on their phones, like texting. It's annoying. Very annoying. So mad. Wait, sorry, what does it say? Sorry, Joseph said David is the only one that could go for it mathematically. Well, no, Xavier could have gone for it.
Yeah, I think
it's gone for it.
No, I think Joe means for next week. Joseph means
now next week. Yeah, it's pretty much Xavier.
Yeah,
and
I think it's him and Xavier. If Xavier gets $100, he has to get that $100. If he only gets 75 again, he won't have enough.
Correct. And Claire only has 100. Okay, so she should have. Did she play?
No, she didn't play, but she played the time before, but only got 50. So she unless they like give them money another way, or they increase the money for the last week or something.
Oh yeah, she didn't have enough to play this week because it was 125, right?
Yeah.
So
Hannah could as well. I think Hannah's at 150.
Correct.
Maybe, yeah.
So even if she gets, she needs to get 100 as well.
But she has to get 100 as well. But Big D is. I mean, he's pretty much golden unless. Well, no, he's golden. Even if he gets the 50, he'll have 250. No. Yeah.
So Big D's gonna have that coup d'état like master power. That's so annoying. Yeah. Tiffany has 75 in total. Alyssa has 75 this round, so she went up, which is awesome for her. Can she? No, she won't be able to play next week, so she's going to play this week. And so basically what it is, it's standing kind of on like a roulette table where you have to like angle your body on this kind of disc and get the ball to make several rotations. So she managed to get it to go around 19 times in the time limit before it bounced out of the track. What do you think of this competition?
Impressive. Sure. It was great.
Amazing.
I'll remember it. I'll remember it next year. I'm sure I'll still remember it.
No. You might remember it if you see the slide. Like if you're like going through like getting rid of all your photos and be like, what's this from? Like, oh yeah, remember that competition? Oh, but other than that, no. Kylan gets $50. It's obviously he doesn't have enough money to play here. Derek F, we said already, got another $100, so he has $150. And I think that's everybody. So we see that Derek X is asking Kylan if he should play, and then we already mentioned this briefly, but Kylan's like, well, you don't really want to go against with the head of household, like what their wishes is, because she wants this power to be flush. And so he doesn't end up playing. He gets $100, he has $200, and he chooses not to play.
He got manipulated. He got played.
So that means that the only person that played was Alyssa. So that means her number 19 is still good. So now she's going to be spinning the roulette wheel with all the faces of the eligible house guests on like kind of like a board but behind Phil. And so instead of those numbers, it's house guests' faces. And they spin the ball around and it lands on her closest ally in the game, Xavier. This is after she took Derek F off the block, which I was also annoyed by. I wish that she took Claire off the block, but took Derek F off the block. Xavier now is going up on the block instead. And if Derek X had decided to play, I'm sure he would have gotten more than 19. He would have won that power and got himself to be safe. He would have been able to take off Claire and they would both be safe. I know he'd be scared that maybe Tiffany would be safe, but like, or would be going up, but she wouldn't be. It would be Alyssa, and Alyssa would be going home.
Yeah.
That would have been the week. But that's not what's going to happen. That isn't. Alyssa's crying, of course. And we end the episode with Sarah Beth saying, I'm sorry, America. I'm sending your boy home. Ooh. Is she the villain?
She's going to be the villain of the season. Well, good for her. I mean, I had her pegged as like one of the first 2 or 3 people out of this game, and she's still in it. But I don't see her having any chance, even if she gets to the end, really winning this game. So.
No, you can't get. She's not good. She can't win. It's like it's impossible. I think Kylan would even put her up and vote her out. You know, like it's just she thinks she's doing like amazing work, and I'm taking out the biggest target, and you come for me, I'm gonna come back for you. Like sure, but she's really not setting herself up really well because Derek X was working with her, even if she doesn't think he was, and they're going up against this juggernaut of the cookout, and they don't even realize how in danger they're in. Taryn, I think it was on yesterday's update, was comparing like Sarah Beth and how she was handling her HOH. I think it was Sarah Beth who was talking about, saying it's like she's cleaning up her room, but she's on the Titanic. Like she's just riding her little cabin.
Get it already
on the Titanic that's going down. You got
the iceberg hit a couple weeks ago. Like, I mean, like it's happened already. She just isn't aware that it's happened. The boat's already going. Like it's not coming. You're already in trouble, girl.
I thought it was really funny. And Liana right after was kind of like, she's like, yeah, it's like you're making your bed, but your room's on fire. And I was like, put out that fire. I thought it was just so funny that like these people don't even know what they're dealing with, and they're just like putting out these small fires or tidying their room when they're actually on a sinking ship. So hilarious. So Xavier and Hannah would have to get $100 next week. No, they won't have they'll have 100. They'll have 250. Yeah. Yes, correct. Which I don't know if America is going to do that because I don't think that they collectively like the cookout. So I'm wondering if Derek X is gone, how things are going to shake out. I do think that Claire will get $100 again, even though it's not going to be valued. Like, I think she'll still get $100. Hopefully, the head of household this week is maybe the slip and slide, where they have like you can fill up the smaller container to get some money. So maybe that's what one of the prizes will be.
Smart. That's true.
All the BB streets are saying this, so it wasn't necessarily my thought, but I did.
All Chantele. So smart. Reality realness.
What other ways though could they to get some bucks?
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be stuff in the challenges, like in the vetoes. I don't know.
Yeah, so pretty much, yeah. Maybe Xavier. I don't know if they're going to give him $100 though. I think that, man, though, I think
it will be one of those two. Will be the one that goes up because they both for 2 weeks in a row got the 75, so they're on like position 4 and 5. So I think that they might go up.
So
Hannah might not though, because I have a feeling people like Hannah with Derek X. Like they like that relationship. So there might be people that might go that I'm not happy that she did that to Derek X, so they might not vote for her. But X has sort of been kind of like not really. There wasn't really a reason behind him getting his money, so he might be the third person to get it.
Well, this is the thing, though. Are people going to be smart enough to not vote for the people that it doesn't matter?
Well, it's America votes. Do they ever do this right? And that's not. I'm not putting down America. I mean, it's the America votes thing, and they never get it right.
Man,
it's the voters that vote in America that don't get it right, not America.
Don't worry, nobody's coming for you, Phil. They don't know where you live, except for maybe Brittany. So I'm just wondering though, because like if they give it to Claire, like because BB thinks that Claire will get $100, so it's going to be like obsolete because she's only going to have $200. So whatever. So are they going to just give it to the people where their $100 will matter? Because it doesn't, like the other points, it doesn't matter anymore. Big Brother, the only person that's going to be playing this for sure is Derek F. And then I guess maybe they'll give it to Hannah.
Yeah.
So Hannah and Derek F are going to be playing that coup d'etat.
So then it doesn't.
And then it's going to be Sarah Beth and Alyssa on the block.
Or it will be Sarah Beth, Alyssa, or Claire. One of them will
I think she'll maybe not put Claire up right away.
Yeah.
If it's Hannah.
Yeah. It depends whoever it is, and it's going to be Sarah Beth has won, so she should be a target. It's going to be Claire's the smart one. She's the next one that needs to go, or it's going to be Alyssa's going to be good at challenges. We need to get rid of her. Like, there'll be a reason. One of them will stand out for a reason why they'll go for them.
So Sophie says, whoever gets evicted this week, BB Bucks will go to the remaining people. That would be nice if you could gift it, like anonymously gift it to somebody in the house. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Like, who do you want to give your money to?
Yeah, break it down. They could like rank it, like whoever they want to give it to. That would be interesting.
That would have been something. That would have been helpful.
That was a miss thing. That was like fire tokens in Survivor, right? You have to like give it to somebody at the end if you got voted out.
We're almost at Zingbot. Yeah, Zingbot's probably not this week, but probably the next week. Probably. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us here today as we break down this recap episode of number 20. Wow. So we're more than halfway through. There's about 5 weeks left for the September 29th finale episode. I don't know how I'm going to watch TV on that night because it's going to be the challenge. It's going to be Survivor, and it's going to be Big Brother all in the same night. I'm just like, why? They're wondering why they're
podcast all of them that night. You have to podcast all of them.
No, Survivor is
for all the fans
next
here on
thing.
Reality Realness. You're committing
no. No. No, I think I want to do Survivor like the next day, whenever I can. That's kind of what
Could you live stream? What about instead of doing your thing, live stream your reactions to all 3 shows that night?
I've been
Just
thinking
put a camera on you and have you go.
I've been thinking about kind of doing that. I can't do it on YouTube, but I could do it on Twitch.
Right.
Where I could actually, like, you know how I do a screen share? I can share the episode like that, and then we'd be on the side, and we can, like, be chatting with people while we're watching something at the same time. That's something that we could do. But we can't do it on YouTube, obviously, for, like, all these copyright things. And there is, like, you're not really allowed to do it on Twitch, but it just takes them a lot longer to catch on, so...
Right. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So that's something that I think doing, actually. I don't know how interesting I would be just like seeing my face watching it, but it's I could think about it. You watch?
Oh, I'll watch. I'll watch definitely. I'll be commenting along like crazy for you.
Yay! Well, what do you have going on, Phil? What's going on in the world of Good Time Games?
Good Time Games. Obviously, if you're on Facebook, look for us. Good Time Games with Adam and Phil. We're on Facebook. We do games nights for people. You can have people from all over the world play with you. We do games on Zoom. They're unique games, not really found online anywhere else. So it's nice and fun to play. And we do a couple of different things. So follow, like our page. You'll be put into the loop of what's going on. I do have to say, I feel kind of bad that we didn't review. I know because it's on all the time, Survivor Australia. But to the people listening, if you're into Survivor, watch this season of Survivor Australia because there's been some incredible blindsides. And it's been like, what? Like it's been some gameplay has been quite amazing. And there's people in it that you're like, how are they still in it? And like they're making these crazy moves and they're working. So it's pretty interesting.
All right. Well, you shut down. No, I didn't have the time. I have the time now, though.
No.
Catch up. Because you're only on what, week 5? I could maybe catch up and we could start half.
Oh no, we're almost at. I think we have 9 left in the game.
Already?
3 episodes a week. Yeah, it's just like go.
Oh, because like Survivor Australia or South Africa, we still have like 6 episodes left.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. I think it's probably like about 3 more weeks of Survivor Australia. But
well, I'll catch up just to be able to talk to you about it. So maybe we can just do like an ending, just like what we thought about the entire season. Not specific notes about each episode, but like our favorite. We can go through the players and talk about each of their games or something like that, like after the season. So that's something we could do.
Ooh.
Well, thanks everybody for being here and joining us. We love you here in the chat room at Reality Realness with 3 S's. You've done this already, but please subscribe. Just try to build a group of people that love talking about reality TV. Like this video. Tell us in the comments, what do you think about these BB Bucks? What do you think about the fact that most people are going to have obsolete BB Bucks that are not going to be allowing them to play in the last, whatever it's called, competition to win Ultimate Power? That Derek F is going to be the only person eligible to win this power. How do you feel about this, America? Tell us in the comments. We need to change something because the fact that our favorites, well, Pretty's not my favorite, but it's your favorites, have gone out with money in their pocket because they wanted to potentially play in these powerful twists, and then they're just out. So what do you think?
I'm fine. I don't like any of the people that were on my team but X. Don't they can go away forever.
So yes, please just do that. Thank you, Sheena. Good night. Good night. Good night. We will see you, I guess, on Wednesday we'll see if it's going to be like an actual veto ceremony, but like they seem to not be wanting to conclude an episode. So we'll see what happens. Until Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.